Hey, what's going on? I'm Apprentice Demand, and in this video, we're going to do a review on Voss. I think it's a spring water. Spring water. So let's go ahead and open it up. There's a sticker here that says "Still reject safety seal if broken." A safety seal is not broken, so we're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this up. And I found the glass bottle version. I have seen plastic versions of this one around, but I was fortunate enough to find the glass version. And we're going to be comparing this to electrolyzed reduced water, which is what we have right here, which is also in a glass. And that first test we're going to do is on antioxidants. All right, that's our first test. And this is the most important test of the three. The reason why is because we have all these things around us known as free radicals. They're in the air, they're in our foods. They're everywhere, right? So what they do is they come in and they take the electrons from our healthy cells, and when that happens, the cell can't breathe, is essentially what happens, right? So it ends up leading to oxidation, becomes oxidizing, and because it can't take in nutrients or get rid of waste, it becomes inflamed, right? So it leads to oxidation and inflammation, and those two things are linked to every single health disease known to man, and it creates a vicious cycle. It's horrible. So oxidation is positively charged, creates rust, aging, and dis-ease in the body. And so we want antioxidants. These are fruits, your vegetables, your vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E. They are full of just the negative extra electrons, right? And so what they're going to do is they're going to be provided to those cells that are struggling, which is going to remove that inflammation, bring down the inflammation, reduce that oxidation, and essentially get that cell working again. All right, so that's negatively charged. And so how we're going to test this? We're going to use this bad boy right here. This is an ORP meter. And the only thing that matters here is if we see a positive number, that means the beverage is oxidizing, create more inflammation and dis-ease in the body. However, if we see a negative number, that means it's a strong antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. So let's see what we get here with Voss Spring Water. What are we seeing? Oh boy, positive 200, and this is going up, right? So this is oxidizing. 230, man, this is speeding up pretty quick, right? So as we see, this is oxidizing. Let's go ahead and see what we get here with the electrolyzed reduced water. Oh boy, I don't know why I can't hold this all of a sudden. But we are getting a negative 650. Check that out. Check that dash, right? So this is a very strong antioxidant. And just to give you some context, green tea normally shows up as about a negative 100 on the antioxidant scale, which is why they recommend drinking green tea. And this is showing up as a negative 677, right? So that makes this a strong antioxidant, but Voss is oxidizing, all right? And there you have it. That is the first test. Let's go ahead and jump into the next one. All right, our second test is all about alkalinity. And this is really doesn't have to do with our stomach. A lot of people feel that way. We actually shouldn't consume water while we're eating. Some I'll save for another day, but it's really for our blood. Our blood must maintain that 7.365, and it's going to do that no matter what. The question is it going to take those minerals and electrolytes from what we're consuming, or is it going to end up taking it from us? All right, so if we stay consuming acidic foods, acidic beverages, then our body's going to be forced to take those minerals and electrolytes from us, okay? And then it's going to lead to a lot of different health challenges. However, if we're consuming alkaline, then we're going to use those alkaline minerals that we're consuming to help balance out the body, okay? Mainly that blood. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use pH drops. If we see a red or orange or yellow, that means it's acidic and it's forcing our body to take the minerals and electrolytes from us, from our skin, from our bones, joints, all that stuff. If we see a blue, a purple, or dark purple, it means it's alkaline, all right? Let's see what we get here with Voss Water. All right, so I don't know what's going on there. It looks acidic to me. It did a few different colors, but ultimately it's acidic. right? So, looks like a 5 on a pH scale. So let's see what this is. It says still. It says ingredients, natural spring water. If they're using a spring, that spring is sprung, so that means there's not any natural minerals in it anymore. If it's showing up acidic, right? And it says manufacturer Voss Production Americas Inc., New York, New York. And then they have their website where you can go and look at stuff. But there is the daily value shows nothing. I don't know where they're getting it from, but that spring has sprung. And so if you're buying this thinking that you're getting something that is at least neutral, that's not happening. All right, that's not it. It can be natural all at once, but that spring doesn't have the minerals anymore due to whatever challenges that's happening in that area. You're getting acidic water. While this one here is alkaline, sitting around a 9.5. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our next test. Alrighty, on to our third test. This one is called superior hydration. We want to make sure that we're not just drinking water, but we're drinking water that hydrates us all the way to a cellular level, not just sitting in our stomach like clunk, okay? We want it to hydrate us, okay? So the best way we're going to try to do that representation is by making tea. Right? I know that sounds crazy because the water's cold and everything, but if the water's actually small enough to hydrate, guess what? We're going to be able to make some tea. Okay? Let me go ahead and get a tea bag here. Oh, I grabbed 2 on accident. We only need 1. But let's see what happens with Voss Water. Let's see if we can make some tea with it. I must say, I really do like their bottle. Their bottle is a nice bottle. We're paying for the bottle. It's a nice bottle. But as we see, we're not really getting a lot of tea here. And I know y'all are thinking I'm crazy, especially if you haven't subscribed and seen these videos before. But all right, see, with a little jumping up and down, which you shouldn't have to do to get hydrated, by the way. But we're starting to get at something. And I think that's going to be the highlight of it right there. So we're getting a little bit, it's like a cloudy, murky looking tea light. Let's see what happens here with the electrolyzed reduced water. How far did I go? But man, look, it's already making an amazingly dark tea automatically. So there's no trick here. And the water is cold. I'm over here. I'm not burning myself with this cold water, but we're actually able to make tea. And I know what you're probably thinking, you're like, well, Princess, you cheated. The bag was wet here and it wasn't wet there. You had to work that, right? So let's try it again. Maybe it'll be different. And has there been a time? Maybe there's been a time where actually it ended up being different, but let's try it. Now, so we're not really getting a lot of tea. So what is that saying? It's showing us that the water is literally too big to get into the tea bag to actually pull out the minerals and the essential things that matter to make tea out of this from this bag. But let's try it again with the electrolyzed reduced water. And there you have it. Happening yet again. So I'm telling you right now, if we're actually hydrating at cellular level, we can get rid of a lot of waste that's in our body. We can actually bring a lot of nutrients. So if you're feeling mineral deficient or you're missing vitamins or supplements and you feel like you're taking them and it's not doing anything, maybe because you're not taking it with the right water. Right? Because if you're using Voss, which I love the bottle, don't get me wrong, but with the right water, we're actually able to make tea and actually bring the hydration and nutrients to where we need to take it in the body. All right, so let's go ahead and do a quick recap on Voss Spring Water. All right, so we tested Voss for 3 specific things. The first one was antioxidants, and we saw that this water was oxidizing. It was jumped up to about a positive 200 real quick, which means it's creating more oxidation and inflammation in the body. The second thing we tested for was alkalinity, And despite it being a spring water, that spring is sprung. That water is acidic. We saw it was around a 5, right? So that's acidic water that we're drinking. That's oxidizing us. It's acidic. I love the bottle, but that third test we did, superior hydration, it's not hydrating us. Nowhere near like this electrolyzed reduced water. All right. So as much as I love the bottle, if you have this in your home, keep the bottle, use it for something because it's a nice bottle and you paid a lot of money for that bottle. If you were paying it for the water, you're not getting good water. You got a great bottle though, I think. And if you really want a water that's great for you, that's gonna save you money, you don't have to keep expensive bottles like this, check out the masterclass I have below this video. There's a link, it's in the description. It's normally the first comment here. And you'll learn more about the water I recommend, which would be this right here, and see if it's something that's right for you. It's not for everybody, but it may be for you. Feel free to check that out. You're gonna absolutely be blown away. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.